CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
We are starting with a live look at the big board this afternoon. Wall Street has been on another wild ride as investors react to the Trump tariff policies and the big pause. But stocks are climbing higher right now, up almost 500 points as we wrap up this historic week. Thanks for joining us this Friday afternoon. A lot of people are watching their wallets these days as the trade tensions ramp up. Overnight, China announced a 125% tariff on U.S. goods. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
President Trump undergoes his annual physical today, but it's the future health of the economy that some analysts are worried about if the trade war between the world's two largest economies persists. Overnight, China announced it's raising tariffs on U.S. goods to 125%, while indicating if the U.S. keeps playing the tariff numbers game, China will ignore it. But the statement adds if the U.S. insists on continuing to substantially infringe on China's interests, China will resolutely counterattack and fight to the end. U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer reacted on Fox News.
The Chinese reaction this morning is not terribly surprising, but certainly unfortunate.
This morning, reporters asked the U.S. Trade Representative whether the U.S. is engaged in talks with China, and he said not at this point.
Small business owners like Sarah Wells are bracing for the impact. She designs bags and imports products from China.
China is the source of the raw materials for really the entire handbag industry.
But Matt Billings, whose metal manufacturing company sources its supplies from the U.S., has seen a huge boost in demand.
We went to 7 days a week. We've added multiple shifts. We have added more equipment.
While the Trump administration says one goal of the tariff strategy is to increase domestic manufacturing, experts say it could add significant costs for companies and take years.
Aside from China, the U.S. Trade Representative said that talks are moving forward with other trading partners, including Israel, Vietnam, and Taiwan. To our first alert weather this afternoon, taking a live look outside. And some parts of the Bay Area are headed for warmer temperatures this weekend. Let's check in with meteorologist Zoe Mintz. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. What a beautiful past couple of days it's been. And yes, some more cloud coverage out there today. But that's not going to stop our temperatures, especially inland, from warming up. And right now, they are already significantly warmer than just about 24 hours ago across our, again, inland communities. And even for places around the Bay, right now we're sitting in the mid-70s from places like Fairfield over to Livermore, Fremont in the low 70s, upper 60s in Redwood City, and then low 60s here in San Francisco and 50s closer to our coastal communities. As it kind of depends on where you are, how much warmer you are than yesterday. But basically everybody across the Bay Area is warmer than 24 hours ago, besides Pacifica and Half Moon Bay, as they are actually going to be dealing with quite a lot more cloud coverage that's going to stick around. Again, mainly just our coastal communities throughout this afternoon. And it's the reason that our coastal communities' high temperatures are only going to be in the upper 50s versus mid-70s. Those microclimates are in full force, and I'll let you know how long they're going to stick around for coming up into my full forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Zoe. New at noon, 2 people are under arrest for San Jose's second homicide of the year. It happened back in February. A 19-year-old man was shot in the area of Farm Drive, and he later died at the hospital. Using surveillance video, police determined that this was potentially gang-motivated. They also used license plate reader cameras. Detectives arresting Nathaniel Henderson of Union City and Antonio Perez of San Jose this week. They are booked into the Santa Clara County Jail for murder. And it is National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and police in Oakland are asking people in the community to do their part to come forward if you witness a crime. Mothers and loved ones of gun violence victims took to the podium today to share their stories. We heard from Tina Watkins, whose son Jamal was killed 3 years ago when he was coming home from a night out. Police were never able to put the person responsible in jail.
They know who killed my son, but it's not enough evidence to put this person away. For me to see videos of this happening to my son like I'm watching a TV show, it haunts me every day.
In an effort to get more people to speak out, the Alameda County District Attorney's Office is providing assistance to witnesses who do step forward. Also in Oakland, the race for mayor coming down to the final stretch with the city's special election set for this coming Tuesday. Former Congresswoman Barbara Lee and former City Councilman Lauren Taylor are the two front runners. All candidates have a busy weekend ahead. Early voting sites in Oakland are open from 9 to 5 every day. This just in, federal judge has refused to block immigration enforcement operations in churches in a lawsuit brought by religious groups. And another federal judge has cleared the way for registration of people who are in the U.S. illegally. The Trump administration wants to require everyone in that category to register with the government and carry documentation. And on Thursday, a judge sided with the administration. He said the groups pushing to stop the move lacked standing in the case. The administration has said more than 3 million people could be affected. The Trump administration's federal cuts taking a toll on food banks across the country. Just last month, the USDA canceled $420 million in funding that helps programs buy food directly from local farms. Sunnyvale Community Services is among the organizations hit by these cuts. As Arlen Ramirez reports, the group's longtime leader is now putting her retirement on hold to guide the food bank through these tough times.
Whoops. After 71 years and 2 successful careers in tech and nonprofits, Marie Bernard was planning to finally step down and retire in 2025. But with the tanking economy, cuts to social services, and food insecurity on the rise, Marie says now is no time for her to coast off into the sunset.
I didn't have a cruise booked or anything like that. This is my life's work, one way or the other.
So she canceled her retirement to help her organization serve their clients at a time of need.
In my heart, I felt this was the thing to do now. And given all the changes that are happening, the safety net is being shredded right now. And I have a calling to do something about that, and this seems like it's the best place for me to be right now.
Marie has led Sunnyvale Community Service for 15 years. It provides a range of services, including health screening, job and school readiness, emergency financial aid, and of course, food and nutrition. On this day alone, the organization and an army of volunteers gave out more than 1,400 bags of food.
We do like to give them some protein. This week it's frozen turkey.
Ariana Quintero's family was once a food bank recipient. Now she works here serving others.
It helped us through very tight moments.
But looming federal cuts could shift billions in food assistance costs to California and other states, potentially jeopardizing what food banks can provide. And widespread layoffs in the federal departments are being felt right here.
It was already hard to navigate the systems. They weren't always perfect. In fact, we knew they were very imperfect. Now they're not there. And so we've gone from imperfect to nothing for a lot of our clients. And there's also a lot of fear. The chaos is, I think, really going to perpetrate a lot of people falling through the cracks.
It all added into Marie's decision to stay on and use her decades of experience to guide the agency through turbulent times. But one thing she knows for sure, her work is making a difference for people like Martha Mejia.
Do you need the help right now?
Yes,
why?
Because it's very lot price. There's no more money. This is for help for family. Thank you. For my son, for my child, thank you so much.
Being involved in the community is something that I will cherish and do as long as I can.
And so Marie plans to stay on while still working with her organization to plan for the day when she will step down. Unfortunately for her own retirement plans, she doesn't think that day will come anytime soon.
Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. What a difference a little texture can make. The living sea communities being created along these Bay Area walls. And this is something I'm never going to understand, how these reusable grocery bags are becoming the new hit thing nationwide. Well, Trader Joe's just launched its haute couture line. The latest in mini totes for the spring season. And they're getting a lot of attention from people. These new bags come in a range of pastel colors: pink, baby blue, mint green, and lavender. And we hung out with some hungry customers outside this Trader Joe's in San Jose. Before the doors even opened up this morning, these $3 mini totes have become an instant collector's item, apparently. Some of the people we spoke with say that they are snagging more than one.
I have friends and family that I'm going to be handing them out for Easter. So I don't know. My mom's like, the bags are out. Please go wait in line. Waking me up early. I'm getting breakfast out of this, of course. But, you know, it's exciting. And then you get to meet really nice, fun people.
Why not, right? Why not wait in line to get a cute bag? It's trendy. So I can't wait to give it out to my mom and my sisters.
I can think of a few reasons why not, but okay. All right, I respect their decision. The bags are already popping up for resale online. Prices on eBay ranging from $11 to a staggering $800 in some cases. In today's Project Earth, San Francisco's famed waterfront is facing some real threats, from sea level rise to extreme weather to the potential of earthquakes. The seawall, built more than a century ago, runs from Fisherman's Wharf to the Giants Ballpark. It's supposed to protect downtown, but inspections show that it needs repairs. And now there's talk of literally bringing this aging seawall to life. The San Francisco Embarcadero is full of eye-catching destinations, from the ferry building to Fisherman's Wharf. But these days, down by the water, what's grabbing a lot of attention is what you don't see.
I got out of the water after my first dive, and I felt like saying, hey, you people walking around on the sidewalk, do you know what's going on down there?
Along the aging seawall at 3 different locations, scientists have placed some very unusual tiles. A few times a year at low tide, the team climbs over the wall to inspect them. Some are brought back to street level for a closer look.
What you're seeing is some amazingly luxurious growth of native seaweeds.
The once empty tiles are now covered in marine life.
This is our native Olympia oyster, doing quite well. Here's a sea spider, a pycnogonid animal here with the spots. Is a sea slug.
What makes these tiles so different, while some are smooth, others are constructed with bumps and grooves.
It has portions that stick out, it has indentations.
The cutting-edge experiment is known as the Living Seawall Project, launched in 2022 by the Smithsonian Environmental Research Center with the Port of San Francisco.
See how lacy that is?
The goal is to see whether the textured tiles can better replicate a natural habitat for native species.
Traditionally, when we think of seawalls, they're these flat, smooth, vertical surfaces, and there's been this new wave of thinking on how we can retrofit them or enhance them to benefit biodiversity.
At the Smithsonian's lab in Tiburon, Dr. Chela Zabin and grad student Corinne Knapp take an even deeper dive. Zabin peers through a microscope to get a much closer look at what's living on the tiles.
We can see a lot of things that are very tiny that we wouldn't see in the field, even under the best of conditions.
Knapp is running tests on how the new communities function.
We want to figure out, not just who is there, but what they're doing.
If the textured tiles prove beneficial, they could be built into a new, more resilient seawall that's already in the works.
So we want to do something that tips the balance in favor of native species.
Protecting life above and beneath the waves. Really cool project there, and really cool shot right now we have of the city of San Francisco from our tower, our camera on Sutro Tower, and you can see some of those low clouds hanging around the city this afternoon. Let's check in with meteorologist Zoe Mintz for more on what we can expect, because the weekend is here.
Yes, happy Friday. It's looking like little fingers of fog that are just making their way across parts of the city. But most of the Bay Area is seeing plenty of sunshine, especially farther inland where we're looking at our high temperatures going to be warming up. into the mid 70s. We're already in the low 70s. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s across parts of our inland communities like Antioch, Concord. Upper 70s is going to be lovely out there. Mid 70s down into the Santa Clara Valley. We'll be in the low 70s to upper 60s around the bay. But then the closer to the coast you get, you notice how much cooler those temperatures are. And it all has to do with the fact that there's a lot more cloud coverage along our coastal communities. And the cloud coverage that is going to be sticking along the coast is going to keep those temperatures cooler today and into tomorrow. So keep that in mind if you were planning on making maybe today a beach day. Not going to be the greatest day for it. I would suggest waiting until Sunday when these temperatures are going to be from anywhere from a couple of degrees above average today to Sunday about 10 to nearly 15 degrees above average as we're looking at high pressure continuing to dominate. You do notice, though, there is a storm system. It's bringing us a little bit of cloud coverage, but again, little fingers of clouds. It's not going to be anything impressive. It is a moisture-starved system. So even though it looks like a little bit of rain wants to head our way, I can promise you that rain is not going to reach the ground. Just a little bit of that fog and that low-hanging cloud coverage. But I still want everyone to remember to wear sunscreen. It's still getting to that time of year where UV index is increasing. So even though there is going to be a bit more cloud coverage, sunglasses, sunscreen still necessary today, and keep it handy through the weekend because high pressure is going to continue to dominate. Even though we're looking at a little bit of some disturbances making their way off the west coast, that's going to keep our temperatures slightly cooler today and tomorrow. It's the 80s that are going to turn on Sunday as that another area of high pressure will move directly overhead, keeping those quiet conditions around. So again, if you want to get out any day over the next 7, I would suggest Sunday is the day to at least soak up the heat. The well above average temperatures near 80 as well on Monday before a slight cool down over the rest of the work week next week. But either way, dry and warm conditions for at least the next 7 days. Back to you.
Thank you, Zoe. We are counting down to Gayle King's historic space flight. It's coming up on Monday as the CBS Mornings co-anchor prepares to board a rocket into space. She talks about the crucial support she's been getting from 2 children and her best friend, Oprah Winfrey, with Vladimir Duthiers. Take a listen.
If any of the 3 of them had said, I don't think it's a good idea or I'm worried, I wouldn't have done it. But they were all so excited and enthusiastic for me.
If they were afforded the opportunity, if Will or Kirby or Oprah...
I refuse to answer that question.
Why, Gayle?
No.
What would you say to them?
Well, soaring alongside Gayle will be pop superstar Katy Perry, philanthropist Lauren Sanchez, engineer Aisha Bowe, civil rights activist Amanda Wynn, and film producer Carrie Ann Flint. CBS's Mark Strassman talked about the reasons behind choosing this group.
The vision of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez was to get 6 accomplished women, an all-female crew, and send them up. They thought that was important. And so Lauren then reached out to different women that she knew from different walks of life and put it all together. And that's the crew that's going to go up Monday. And Gayle told me this morning, for instance, that she really hopes that it's inspiring to a lot of little girls who'll be watching on Monday morning.
All right, we're going to be following it Monday morning on KPIX. We're going to have full coverage of Gayle's historic flight. All right, it's almost the end of the NBA regular season. Just 2 games left for the Warriors. They're playing their final home game of the regular season this Sunday. And it's a crucial one if they want to make a run for the championship. Here's a look at the standings. The Warriors are in the 6th seed right now, owning the tiebreaker over the Grizzlies and the T-Wolves, so they could avoid the play-in tourney. The Dubs on the road tonight against Portland before finishing a season at home against the Clippers. And in the WNBA, United Airlines, now a founding partner and the official airline of the Golden State Valkyries. The new multi-year sponsorship will focus on elevating women's sports and investing in communities. The Valkyries' inaugural season tips off next month, and CBS News Bay Area is your official home of the Valkyries season. More than 30 games going to air on KPIX and Pix Plus. We'll be right back. Oh, we are big animal lovers around here, so we are happy to celebrate National Pet Day. And the Campbell Police Department celebrating too. They shared this picture of their favorite therapy dog, canine Morgan. They say she brings joy and comfort to the community. And while she can't read, the rest of the team loved looking over some of your pictures and thank you notes that Morgan and her sergeant received. And we just wanted to give you another peek at our resident dog, Scoop. She's not a pet, she is a service dog, but we have been watching her grow. She's now how old? 12 weeks. That's her handler, one of our producers, Jen, who is teaching her to be an assistant. But we love her, and whatever pets you have, give them a kiss for us today on this National Pet Day. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Just go to the CBS News app, hit live, and then Bay Area. Scoop would appreciate it. Have a good Friday.